find some of their broken pottery in the dirt, and arrowheads, and along with that came some of their spirits. In fact, there was a little bit of a burial ground there because while they were building the houses and doing some mining out there, they came across the full skeleton of a Native American. And just like you would figure, here comes University of Alabama, and they tote it off to experiment and find out more about it. And you want to take off a Native American, you disturb their grave and take their body. And that, not to mention one of our neighbor dogs came jogging up out the woods one day with a human jawbone in his mouth. He had dug up one of the graves. And we also had old settler cemetery behind some of the houses. Some people, their backyard live right into the cemetery. So, on your back porch looking at tombstones out there. And it dated back to the 1800s, and it's still, yeah, there you go. And quite kind of,
One hopes.
But every house had a story. I know our house, we had footsteps in the hallway, we had doors opening and closing by themselves, appliances would go on and off by themselves. Our little Shih Tzu dog would run around and bark at things that we couldn't see there, but obviously he could. And part of the creepiest was both myself and my sister had this experience when I was probably 5 or 6. There were a series of nights there when I would wake up right around midnight to hear a woman, it was like a woman across the house calling my name, Kevin. I knew it wasn't my mother, who was the only living woman in the house, because she was in the master bedroom next door sawing logs, sound asleep. And I was about to get out from under the covers to find out who that was. She could stay way over across the house. And when I talked about it with my sister, she had the same experience, but it was her name, Tracy. And so we don't know who that was or what she wanted, but we weren't going to go to her. And we had all kinds of legends. There, a ghost dog out in the woods, and we would see sometimes ghost lights. And one really strange thing in our house, we had built onto a house from the old original part that was built in the 70s. Some of the doors, the exact same image of a man's face with his mouth open just appeared out of nowhere.
You never told me
And
that.
I didn't.
What did you think you would want to know that?
It's in the book.
Since I read that book. But I don't remember that.
I got a book at my table all about these stories, Living
Yes.
Indian Arrows, $10 a copy. So
Yes, several of those down there, they are all excellent. Just saying.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, another thing, Catherine Tucker Wynn, anybody heard of her? 13 Justin Jeffrey. I was just crazy about her when I was a kid, and she was like an extra grandmother to all of us kids. But her ghost stories too got me all revved up, and I said, when I get grown up, one of the days I want to go to all these places that Catherine went to. And sure enough, when I was in college, I started going around visiting all these Gaineswood, is that what it's called? And I started at Hall, the courthouse with the face, all of that. And my brother was interested, so we just kind of started doing our own investigations. We went all through Sloss one day when it was empty, and Sloss is, when it's open, it's free of charge. You can't be free, so we just happened to be there and nobody else was there, so we broke out our recorders and started going to town.
It's a good place to do that. And he's right. Daylight hours, what is it, dawn till sunrise to sunset?
Yeah, it's like 9
Like a
to
national
4
park, sunrise to sunset, it's free.
every day. And then broad daylight, you don't have to be there in pitch night. You can go there in broad daylight.
And you can see more because the tunnels are so dark. You can actually see what's happening around you. It's cool.
But from there, I mean, I've just pretty much gone from east to west. We went to South Carolina and investigated rice oak plantation. Then the places in Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, and then went all the way out to California and spent a whole day on the Queen Mary doing an investigation there. And that was pretty interesting. I got a picture of what looks like a little girl or or the bottom half of the little girl over and up trying to fly out of my picture as I took it. I didn't see it, but on the picture you can see her little dress. And that was right after the tour guide had told us, people got pictures of a little girl here, so be careful. And but I joined Scare with Kim Johnston back in 2013, and around that time, a friend of mine at work introduced me to my first haunted doll. And as soon as I heard haunted doll, I'm thinking, Chucky, wanna play?
That's what everybody thinks that he does at home, right?
I'm like, are you out of your mind? Dolls, and plus I'm a dude, what am I gonna do with dolls? So she told me the story of this little doll, little cute little baby doll in a crawl position that belonged to a little girl back in the mid-'80s named Patty, and her mother was a prostitute. That doll was the only doll that little girl ever had, and her neighbor bought it for her out of pity. She took it everywhere she went. Patty was like 6, 7 years old. Her mom would go off at night to, pardon my language, whore around and leave little Patty there in their apartment all night long. Can you imagine being 7 and all by yourself all night long while mom's out cavorting around? And one night she was going through the kitchen trying to find something to eat and found what she thought was candy in a bag. Ooh, mommy had the good stuff, and she swallowed a bunch of it. And she didn't know it was actually drugs that her mother had gotten as payment from one of her clients. And when Patty went to sleep, she didn't wake up the next morning. And her little doll went back to the neighbor, and from there, everybody that's had it so they could hear little Patty talking and hear little footsteps and hear her singing and all this stuff. And my neighbor got it in an estate, not neighbor, my co-worker got it in an estate sale, and she didn't believe it when they told her about it. It's like, shut up, give me the doll, because she liked collecting dolls. Brought it from there all the way back to Alabama, and then in her house, not long after, she starts hearing little footsteps and a little girl's voice, and Joanne is my friend's name. Joanne got ill and didn't think she was going to recover, so she started giving out some of her property, and her daughter was scared to death of that doll. So she asked, she naturally thinks of me. So after I heard that story, I said, well, how sweet. I got to think, what a conversation piece to have an actual haunted doll.